Well, Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe says his country's relations with China are at a historic turning point. It is the second day of his trip to Beijing for meetings with China's leaders. Now, Abe also says Tokyo and Beijing will work together on North Korea because they both have a responsibility to ensure regional security. He's committed to normalizing diplomatic relations with North Korea, but only after issues such as Pyongyang's kidnapping of Japanese citizens are resolved. Well, Prime Minister Abe also says he wants to work with the international community to try to solve issues concerning North Korea.
The denuclearization of North Korea is a common goal of both countries. We agreed to continue to closely coordinate and deal with the issue and fulfill properly our responsibilities. I'm also determined to join hands with the international community to resolve the issues of abduction, nuclear weapons, missiles of North Korea, and settle the unfortunate past and normalize diplomatic relations with North Korea.
Well, for more on this, political analyst Cheng joins us now live from Hong Kong. Thanks so much for speaking to us. First, let me ask you, how much do you envision a fundamental change now in the China-Japan relationship, given Shinzo Abe himself is calling it a historic turning point?
Not much, really. The Abe administration certainly has been very enthusiastic to fully restore the bilateral relationship after his predecessor, the government of the Japan Democratic Party then in 2012, which attempted to buy two small islands of the Ryukyu Islands group from Japanese civilians. Now, this act antagonized the Chinese authorities very much, and that explains why for 7 years there had not been any summit meeting between the leaders of the two countries. So Abe certainly think that this is a diplomatic achievement. Chinese leaders were reluctant before to allow this full normalization because there had been no concessions really from the Japanese side on the significant controversial issues. Now, in view of the exacerbating Sino-American trade war, Beijing seems to be eager to accept some improvement in Sino-Japanese relations so as to reduce the pressure from the United States.
Right. So you do believe the United States is in a sense, responsible for pushing China and Japan in this direction because of the trade war the U.S. has essentially started?
Certainly so. China certainly has been approaching Russia in particular, the BRICS group, Japan, and then, of course, even Israel to open up new markets and especially new sources of cooperation in the key scientific and technological fields.
Okay, so tell me, clarify, you were speaking about some in your first response, but what will be the biggest obstacles toward fully normalizing the China-Japan relationship?
Well, there are many significant obstacles or problems in the bilateral relationship, including the territory issue, the Ryukyu Islands in dispute, the exclusive economic zones of the East China Sea, the historical textbook issue on the part of the Japanese school system, and the Japanese government's attitude towards the historical legacy left behind by the Second World War. Basically, these are significant differences, and one cannot expect quick resolutions. What we can see here, of course, is an improvement, a rather considerable improvement in the atmospherics in the bilateral relationship, and hopefully this may lay the foundation for more progress in the free trade talks among Japan, China, and South Korea, as well as within the region in the form of the regional comprehensive economic partnership agreement between the East Asian countries and the ASEAN 10.
Okay. Cheng, thank you so much for your insights there from Hong Kong.